Hey everyone, we have a whole new cycle of new Capenna commander decks. Let's jump in and talk about that. Alright, so here it is. As promised, this is one of the new Capenna commander decks. I'm sorry, I can't show it on my front camera here, but here it is on the main camera so you can see it in the kind of up close. I'll probably post maybe a product photo from the internet somewhere on here so you can see it a little better, but there it is, the super close view. I do have all 5 of these decks that I will open. I'm just showing you the first one to start. What we're going to do today is we're going to open this up. We're going to look at some of the cards inside. We're also going to look at the mystery boosters, or what is it, collector booster sample that are inside. That's one of the huge benefits of these commander decks. That's why I wanted to open these instead of the other ones in the past. So these have the collector booster in them. Cool cards. So we're going to go ahead and open these one at a time. We'll review some of the cards in the actual pre-con deck, and then we'll open those booster packs. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. For those who don't know, maybe who've never bought this product before, these are as it's stated on the box. They are fully playable, ready right out of the box commander decks. The way you open these is you pull this little rip tab off, and then right out of the bottom, the box with the deck in it falls off, and the rest is trash, which that's probably my least favorite things about these commander pre-cons, about how bulky this packaging. Here's all the stuff that comes around it, right? Again, like the size of my head for comparison, right? And here's the actual stuff that you need, right? This is the deck, a small deck that's about the size of my hand, again, next to my head for comparison. There it is. And yeah, all this is trash. So it's very bulky. I don't know. It just seems very wasteful, both in terms of material, in terms of, like, I'm sure this adds shipping costs. It adds to the price for, I don't know. I guess you can punch out. You get a few of these, like, tokens if you want to, but nothing here is usable. This is all just like cardboard bulk. So I really don't like that. Really, just the packaging of commander decks is my least favorite thing about these commander decks. But overall, let's go ahead and jump in. So we're going to, like I said, go through the actual commander decks themselves, and then we're also going to go through the packs. So when you open these up, again, for those of you who've never opened these commander pre-cons before, you get this always a little like filler thing to make sure everything stays snug and packed well tight. This is, again, like I said, new. They do not put these in every pre-con, but we'll keep that off to the side. We'll open those later in the video. And then, of course, you get the pre-constructed deck. Let's go through this. I've already kind of previewed. I want to be a little surprised, but kind of previewed some of the main cards in this set. So I'll show you what to look out for, and then we'll go ahead and just kind of do a quick shuffle through some of these so you can see. So a lot of the very stuff that goes along. Nice little reprint there of Path to Exile and Beast Within. Harmonize, another good. Oh, this is also a very nice reprint too. We just saw him in one of the Adventures in Forgotten Realms pre-cons. Felwar. So a lot of good reprints, and Grand Crescendo is probably one of the main cards in this set. Creatures you control gain indestructible until the end of the turn, so kind of like a heroic intervention in green, but only for your creatures. But you also get that nice benefit of you could like fill up your board with a lot of these little 1/1 citizen tokens. So pretty versatile card, pretty cool, and nice, like I said, another kind of spin on heroic intervention, which is pretty nice. There's another couple cards that I want to look for you all to see. Life of the Party, here it is. So this is another very cool card, not like a big splashy, oh, the game is over now, I'm gonna win, but it's a really like just chaotic card. You basically, when it comes into the battlefield, you can read it, but all of your opponents create goaded tokens of this card that gain +X when they attack, and it's X is the number of creatures you control. So basically they're goaded, so they have to attack, but they can't attack you, and you get all of your like opponents attacking each other. It turns into chaos pretty quickly. Obviously, they'll sack them out and probably board wipe them or something, get rid of them. But if you can bounce this card back onto the battlefield a few times, flicker it, reanimate it from your graveyard, and your opponents keep getting these tokens that are all attacking each other, probably a pretty funny and chaotic experience. I think it'd be kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to playing with that card. Even if it's not the, it's not going to end any games, but it's going to be very chaotic and fun. I think there's going to be some cool concepts that you can build around that. Fel the Mighty, another Kind of cool card. And let's see, I think I saw Awakening Zone, nice little reprint. Arasta, End of the Endless Web, generating some tokens, so really a lot of valued reprints. This is probably one of the biggest reprints, Beastmaster's Ascension. I think it was like almost a $10 card before the reprint. Now it went down to about $5, but yeah, I think this has only been in Commander Precons in the past, so very excited to see that one. Very cool. And Scute Swarm that came out in Zendikar Rising, that was creeping up there to about like $5 until this reprint. But so a lot of good reprint value in this one. This Idol of Oblivion came out in and then a bunch of lands. Idol of Oblivion came out in the Adrix and Nev Precon in with the Strixhaven ones. And then finally, you get a life counter. For those of you, again, who have not opened these before, you get a nice little 40 life counter, 40 life for Commander. And so overall, I think that's probably one of my favorite of these decks. Very nice. I thought that one was pretty good. A lot of good reprints. Not too many of them were like super high value reprints, but a lot of like Path to Exile, Beast Within, Fell Warstone, like all those little like $1 reprints definitely adds up. All right, so here's our next pre-con deck that we'll look at. I'm gonna fast forward through opening this since I think now you all know how to open a box. I know opening a box is a very coveted skill these days. And it's actually, again, pretty quick because even though this looks like a lot of stuff to open, it's all just junk and bulk. So you can get that pretty quick. Or I guess I won't fast forward. Look how fast I am because I'm just going to talk through it. So, all right, moving on to our next deck. Again, put our collector booster aside. Again, if you just want to see the collector boosters, you make me sad. You should watch the whole video. It's good for the algorithm. It's good for me. It's good for Bethron. So, but if you insist on just seeing the packs, earlier in the video, I probably posted a time, or I'll post it again here. You can just jump to those collector booster openings and watch those to your heart's content. So here we have Obscura, what is it? Something, I gotta find the box. Obscura Operation, that's what it is. So here we go. Offer you can't refuse, very gangster-like. I think what we're looking for in this one is some of the ninjas, which are a nice little reprint to have right after Kamigawa for those of you who want to build some, ninja commander decks, ninja themes, and then some other, I think these are all, yes, and then some life insurance. That's one of the ones I'm looking for. So very cool card, really gross art, but goes very, 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 very well in your classic sort of aristocrats, Orzhov decks, black and white Orzhov decks. So definitely a card I'm gonna probably take out. The way I usually use these precons, I usually don't really play them as they are. I usually use them for a lot of the cards that I like in them because you can get, you can get these decks for maybe like $30 if you hunt around enough. It's my little tip. Like if you just go to your big box retailer, you're gonna get them for like 45 or $50, which is expensive, but very expensive. But if you hunt around enough on eBay, Sun Titan, we've seen this reprinted so many times. Good Mythic, I think it was starting to get value, and they've like reprinted every round of these commander decks. These two, I think we saw, these are good for, again, for +1/+1 themes. But if you hunt around enough on eBay, you can usually get these for like 25 or $30, these precons. And then they make a lot of financial sense if you just want a lot of the cards. Fallen Shinobi, so there's one of the ninjas I'm looking for, and Silent Blade Oni. So there you go. So two good cards for those of you trying to put together a ninja theme based on the cards that came out in Kamigama. Strionic Resonator, that's another good one. Doubles double one of your triggered abilities. It's been a while since we've seen this, so it's good to have a nice little reprint in a commander deck right there. And then your lands go on and on and on for forever. So those are pretty cool. Life Insurance, like I said, one of the cool cards, and that nice Strionic Resonator reprint. Okay, so there's that. Let's move on to see, oh gosh, and then there's our life counter, and then like, I think this is like a rule book or something like that, or a poster, but that's what comes in those. And we'll put this one away, and then we'll move on to the next deck and see what's there. Well, I say see what's there, like we're going to be surprised. These are all pre-constructed decks. So just to be clear, pre-constructed decks are all the same, right? So all the ones with the same name. We're on Riveteer's Rampage for this one. Open this up pretty quick. Oh, and this is another quality issue. Sometimes I didn't rip this. Like it just opened like this, and all the glue is like, the box is not really a box. Not very good at being a box. There's our little filler material. And there's our nice collector booster. Get a nice little stack of collector booster samples right there. And here we go. Let's open this back up and see how we do on this one. So Riveteer's Rampage. Let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite pre-con? There's a bunch of reviews all over the internet on what's in these. So check those out, check mine out, and let me know what you think your favorite pre-con is in the comments down below. There's a couple cards in here. So this is the Jund pre-con. There's some stuff I'm looking for my, what's it called? My Jund deck with Corvold, which is pretty cool. Farseek, a nice reprint indeed. Kodama's Reach, we've seen a lot of that lately. Rampant Growth, we've also seen a lot of that. This is also a pretty good reprint. Teamer Sabertooth. And where are some of these? Oh, I think this might be one of my favorite flavor cards in the set. Protection Racket. At the beginning of your upkeep, repeat the following process for each opponent in turn order. Reveal the top card of your library, and that player may pay life equal to that card's mana value. If they do, exile that card, otherwise put it in your hand. So it's basically like, it's a protection racket, right? It's like, here's the threat that you're gonna see on my next turn, and you can either pay to get rid of it, or I'm gonna put it right to my hand and use it against you. It's like, very, very cool, you know, theme, very cool flavor in this, in that. So I thought that was cool. Reign of Riches, this is also a pretty good card, new commander card for token strategies. Gives you some treasures, and then it's also very awkwardly worded. I read this card when I saw it online. The first spell you cast each turn that mana from a treasure was spent to cast has Cascade. Basically, if you spend treasure mana to cast a spell, it has Cascade. Really just awkward way to say that. I had to read it like 3 times to figure out what it was saying, and it's a really pretty simple effect. Jolene, this is one of them. So whenever if you'd create a treasure token, create treasure tokens +1. So this is like Zorn that came out in Forgotten Realms. Very cool card. As well as, where's the other one that I was looking for in this set? It's kind of like, let's see. Crash, that's what it is. Going a little quicker. Crash, there we go. Whenever another creature dies, you may put a X +1/+1 counters on Crash. This reminds me a lot of Mazurek, where I think anytime you sacrifice a permanent, you put +1/+1 on all of your creatures. So this isn't quite as good. It's not all of your creatures. You only put it on Crash, and it only applies to creatures. It doesn't apply to all tokens, but you get X instead of just 1 at a time, right? So if you kill a really big creature, you're going to get a lot of tokens on that. So that's pretty cool cards. Sad Robot and Life Crafters, another 2 very solid reprints, and then a bunch of lands. One really nice thing about these commander decks is that they're all 3 colors. They represent these crime families, and all the crime families are 3 colors. And what that means is that they have to put a lot more dual lands into these decks in order to make them work. So you get a lot less basics. So usually moving on to Maestro's Massacre, usually there's like, in a 2-colored commander precon, there's usually like anywhere from 20 to 25 basic lands, which is of course a huge waste. In these ones, I was kind of counting up the basic lands. There's only about 14, I think, is the lowest, and 18 was the highest. So 18 basic lands, and all the rest of the lands in these precons are, you know, some kind of dual land, tri-land, something like that. So a lot more value in even just a land slot. So if you just need more dual lands for your decks, or whatever, again, not actual dual lands, but you know what I mean, multicolored lands. So if you just need more of those for whatever deck, you can probably get a lot of good value from these. Fact or Fiction, Frantic Search, so a nice little set of like draw cards right there. So that's pretty nice. I think I was looking through this one. This was probably the worst of the precons. The best card in this, I think, is this is actually, I do like this card. Draw a card for each creature that died under your control this turn. So, you know, this is something that could easily go infinite, right? Like, you know, in your aristocrats deck, you're sacrificing. I mean, you could easily sacrifice 10 creatures or so in a turn, and then you draw a card for each one of those that died. That's probably one of my favorite commander cards in the set. But the most valuable card in this, I think, is just going to be, I'm trying to not spoil it, it's going to be the Lightning Greaves. I'm trying to not spoil it. I didn't want to spoil it, but I can't find it. There it is, Lightning Greaves. So we just saw a reprint of Lightning Greaves in the Forgotten Realms commander. Now we're seeing it again. So I'm curious if Lightning Greaves is just going to be a card they keep reprinting. There was not a printing of it for a while, and now they're just like reprinting it every couple commander decks. So I'm curious if they're just going to print it into the ground or what they're going to do. It's still like a $7 card. So we'll see where that goes, but unfortunately that's probably like the best card in this precon. Again, a lot of like decent reprints, but that's, you know, nothing that's crazy valuable. So if you had to get any of them, I'd probably get this one last unless you're desperate for another Lightning Greaves. But let me know what you think. Again, let me know in the comments down below which of these commander decks is your favorite. We are now moving on to our last one, which is sad, but it means we're going to get into those collector booster samples very soon, so that'll be exciting. And so much junk, and this is kind of falling apart. That sucks, but we'll move on and be okay. Take out our little filler garbage, and there's our collector booster. Nice. And the actual deck, our last commander deck from New Capenna. Crack it open, and this one has probably the most valuable single new card of the commander decks. Let's go through Generous Gift, another one that's been getting a lot of reprints lately. Kind of a nice one to have. I think this one has a lot of defenders in it. I think that's kind of the theme. There's a lot of defender cards, which I don't know. Let's move on through this and see if I can quickly. This is kind of a cool card. I saw a few reviews of that online. And where are we going to get to the good stuff? Planar Outburst, a nice little reprint there. Midnight Clock, that's been showing up more and more. Tezzeret's Gambit, Incubation Druid, a few of these we've seen a few times before. And a Johnny. And come on, where is it? Did I miss it? Oh no, did I miss it? I'm looking for the Resourceful Defense. I hate spoiling it. I want to reveal it as I'm getting to the card, not have to spoil it. Resourceful. There it is. Resourceful Defense. This is like the Ozolith that came out in Ikoria. So a lot of like throwbacks to Ikoria in this set. When a permanent you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters, put them on this card, and then you can move any for 4 and a white. You can move any of your counters around between your between two permanents, I should say. And then I think we're looking for one Devoid Druid, which is just a card that combos off infinitely with a lot of. I thought it was in this one. Maybe I'm wrong. There it is. Oh, Devoted Druid. That's what I was thinking of. And this combos off with a lot of stuff. You tap it for green, but then you can remove and put a -1/-1 to untap it. So basically, if you have anything that removes counters or you know has some synergy with that counter, you can keep tapping and untapping this. Normally you would just put 2 -1/-1 counters and it would die, but if you can remove that -1 counter, you get infinite mana. So a lot of infinite combos with that. So this is, I think it's like a $3 or $4 card. So good to have a reprint of that. And like I said, I think this is at least a $10 card. And then overall, just generally a lot of good reprints that we're seeing in here. So I hope you actually enjoyed all the decks. I'll put this one away. That was fun. And then we'll move on to our collector booster sample pack. So let's see what we get in these. Here they are, all 5. I wish they didn't. I don't know. Like the packaging on these commander decks is so odd. Like, why is it so long? Like, you can clearly see where the cards end. I don't know. Very weird packaging themes with these commander decks. So here we go. Here's our collector booster sample. Which way is up? Wiretapping. Very nice. And a Rakish Reveler. So these are just any card, I think, from, I guess you get a rare and then like a foil. I think that's the pattern. And they're any card from New Capenna. It's not just Commander cards. It's literally anything that you could get in a collector booster. So pack number 2. Let's see how we do with this one. Move our little ad card away. Jetmir's Garden, very nice. So if you look at my box opening, I think this is one of the Triomes I didn't get. Can't do a whole lot better than that. That's really good to get in these collector boosters, so very nice. We now have 5 of those Triomes, and 2 of which now are in those nice alternate art. Let's see what we get here. We have a Ledger Shredder. So you don't know how much taxes you owe because they're shredding all your ledgers. Let's move on. Let's see, can we get a mythic? I don't know if they put mythics in these samples or if it's all going to just be regular rares, but still, I mean, again, we're getting free product of Evolving Door. I keep reading it as Revolving Door, and Cormella Glamour Thief. There we go. And we got one more. Wish me luck. Again, if you like what you saw, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps the channel and the algorithm and the hive mind of YouTube. So please do like what you see. Or yes, please like this video. Please like what you see, I guess. Let me know in the comments down below again, which is your favorite of these Commander decks. Which ones are you going to try to get your hands on first? Let's do a slow roll. High suspense. Oh, no way. No way. It's another Jetmir's Garden. So I think we have 6 of these Cycle Lands now. Triomes now. That's awesome. That's super cool to have another. Unfortunately, it's a duplicate of the one we just got, but I'm not going to complain about having another one of these. That is awesome to have. And a Riveteer's Charm. So very cool. Some nice little extra pulls that come out of all these. Two Triomes is really nice to have. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Some pretty interesting stuff, as you can see, in these new Capenna Commander decks. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and put a comment down below telling me about what your favorite Capenna Commander deck is and why. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time.